Hey everyone, thanks for watching the CB vlog here on YouTube. If you guys are liking these episodes, you know what to do. Hit subscribe for us and let us know you're loving the show and you want to see what's happening next. If you really love it, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/commandersbrew. You can help directly help the show there, even with building the decks in our Discord, which you can get through our Patreon. So go check all of that out. But without further ado, let's get to today's topic.
Organizing your collection.
Oh, big topic.
Big topic. So if you're like
topic,
perhaps if you're like most of us, you've got little stacks, little piles of Magic cards all over the place, on the corners of desks, on the top of bookshelves.
Them right now, there are several piles all over my desk.
Yeah, one pile is like stuff that drafted. One pile is like stuff you ordered recently. One pile is a deck that you're kind of working on. One pile is like just cards you've thought about putting in decks but don't have a home right now. So I want to talk about organizing them. So I'm gonna try to. So I recently organized all my cards again because they were getting out of hand. Too many little stacks, too many cards everywhere. And I wanted to also just present to you some of the tips I came up with. I'm going to try to come up with some just general purpose organizing tips and some of the hows and whys that I do. And so should we get into it?
Let's do it. I'm very interested to hear this because I am due for a reorganization of my cards as well. So let's get into it.
Sure. So I think that the first tip is going to be a general tip as like organize your stuff, in this case cards, for the purpose that you're using them. If it was just a collection that I was never going to look through again, it wouldn't really matter. But we do a lot of decks. We come out with a couple episodes of Battle of the Brews every month. So I need a new deck ready to go in paper, sleeved up every couple of weeks. So I need to be able to find cards quickly and efficiently. So how can I organize my cards to make that job as easy as possible? Well, I'll tell you what didn't work that I used to do. I used to try to have them separate by like, okay, I want a stack of like draw spells. I want a stack of removal spells. And like, so if I need removal, I'll go to this pile. Too confusing. Too confusing. So
it's like, what did I categorize this again? It draws a card and kills a creature. Like what?
Exactly. How do you do that? So this brings me to general tip number 2 is good enough is good enough. I don't need to organize it to a T. So I'm not going to go down to alphabetical order. I don't have enough cards where that makes a lot of sense. That's an option I have, but I went deep enough that I'm comfortable with how long it'll take to look through the last question mark for it. So the tools involved, here's what you're going to need. I love those rectangular cardboard boxes. They're usually white in color. They're long. They hold about 800 cards, I think. 800 count boxes, they call them. They're like the classic long cardboard boxes that Magic cards come in. I love those because I like the one, like the single row ones, because I can stack them however I want, and they fit very nicely into those IKEA square shelves, those Kallax square classic IKEA shelves. They fit very nicely 4x4 in there, so I think it's just great. You can write on the front or put stickers on the front so you can just see visually what's in them from the front. And the last supply that I wanted was like those little inserts. You know, some deck boxes give you one insert, so it can like give you 2 halves of a deck. I never use those in the deck boxes, so I just collected them. So I started to separate the boxes this way by color or subcategory if I had enough. Again, that just makes it quicker to find the chunk of cards I need, flip through for the one I want, and either I have it or I don't have it. So, and the biggest thing that this is good for is I've bought extra cards that I knew I had, but I couldn't find them.
You don't want to look through them.
I was like, or I even looked. I'm just like, I know I have one, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is, and so like I have to just buy it because I need it, and I don't have time to look through every card in all these piles.
Right.
Or you think you're going crazy, like I think I looked here, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I'll look again. Anyway, great. So here's the system. Here's what I love to do.
Okay.
The first big split is rares or not rares. right? That's mythics
Yes.
count as rares.
Yes.
Mythics / rares or not rares. So just turn all your stacks upside down, so that as you flip through them, if you're right-handed, the set symbol is the first thing that appears as you're riffling through them, and just flip them up like rares on top, uncommons on commons on the bottom. You're looking for those yellow or orange things. Once I've got that done, I'll further divide them into color, colorless. Land is separate from colorless. That's its own thing. And multicolor. So I've got the five colors, multicolor, lands, and artifacts / colorless. That makes, 5, 6, 7, 8 categories there. Then one more subdivision. I go for, so just for like mythic versus rare, because I want to separate that. Maybe that was too, like in the end, I don't have that many mythics. So
Yeah.
I probably didn't need to do this, but I did. So if you want to skip that one, then I went creature, not creature. So
Interesting.
because again, if you hold your stack of blue cards upside down, you can just flip through them real quick, and the power toughness box is in the top left, which is the first thing you see. So I could quickly get them into like, okay, cool, I got them.
These are some
That's
great
all.
tips for specifically going through stacks of cards, by the way.
Yeah,
These
man.
are really excellent tips for that specifically.
Sure, it saved me so much time. So now I've got all my cards. So the commons and commons, I do not separate those by rarity, but I do separate them by creature or non-creature. So now I've got all my piles, and now this is where you get to assess. You get to ask yourself, are these piles big enough that I want to further divide them, or are they small enough where I'm just like, I don't need to subdivide this? Like my mythics, for example, I didn't subdivide them past that. I probably didn't need to divide them into mythics or rares to begin with.
Right.
But as it stands, I'm comfortable spending an extra 3 seconds looking through the 8 green mythics I have that aren't in a deck right now. However, if for the bigger stacks, I wanted one more level of granularity, I went down to CMC. Just basic CMC. If it was a split card, I tried to pretend like, well, the rules of Magic say that split cards have a huge CMC. But if I had anything like Aftermath or any like others, I just went for the top right corner CMC. X = 0. The rules of Magic will help you figure out what you're looking for if you can't remember.
Definitely.
And at that point, I had everything sorted. It was, so I did say I did multicolor cards too, and I separated those by like 2 colors and by the individual guilds, the shards, and I made a couple of special categories. One special category is all multicolor legendary creatures.
Yes, very good.
I had that as a separate thing because sometimes you're just like, do I have that commander?
Like commander, yeah.
That's the first thing you want to know.
Yep.
Monocolored legends are in their respective rarity pile. So I left those aside.
I recently took out all the monocolored legendaries and did the same thing as I do with. So the way my system works that I've got going on is very similar to what you got going on. I got all commons and uncommons are all in boxes by CMC only, and they're not even in like I might have like 5 Mull Drifters, but they're within the like the 5 mana blue spells. Like they're somewhere in there, right? So I'm okay to look through the 5 mana blue spells and find one of the Mull Drifters, right?
Yes.
But I've taken out all the rares and mythics, and they're in binders.
Ooh.
And then I've also included in those binders, like you're saying, multicolored legends and monocolored legends, which I'm not sure I should have done. It feels like, I don't know, it's like I wanted to adhere to my legendary rule, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, okay, I want my legendary creatures here. But I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not. It feels like I've got a lot of monocolored legendaries in there, and I'm like, I'm never going to make, I'm never going to make a Jareth Titan Lord deck or whatever, some color one I don't care about, you know what I mean? The one thing that I was going to say that I also did was I will include in my rare binders, so like I've got them done by like Wooburg, like the 5 colors, and then I've got like legendaries, lands, artifacts, and colorless and multicolored, and EDH like playable cards that I know I play in EDH, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing I would suggest if you're separating your rares, and like you're going there to look for your powerful stuff first. Like that's where I include it because I got a binder. It's a little easier to flip through and look at everything.
Because it's a binder. Yes.
Yeah, because it's a binder, it works this way. The stacks won't work as well this way.
Yeah,
But,
I had that and I had to undo it because it was causing more problems.
Really, eh?
Because I'm like, wait a minute. So would that be over here or is that with the rest of the rares?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it can be like, well, is it there? But like again, if it's a binder, you can simply flip through the green section. Like I'm looking for Cultivate, right?
Yeah.
Cultivate is definitely in my rare thing with the EDH cards. I always put in like green decks, so I'm flipping through the green rares, and I go to the end where I usually keep the uncommons that are EDH playable, and then it's like, oh, did I put them in here or did I not? As long as you're consistent, you're good. You're gonna know that they're in that rare binder. You can find them. But again, that's a binder. That's a bit of a different thing.
Yeah, I used to do that. That's what I was alluding to with like, I have a bunch of draw spells and all my counter spells. But I was just like, this isn't working for me because, again, I couldn't find anything. I'm willing to accept that if I want to cultivate, I got to go to my green commons and uncommons. I'll go to the non-creature side, and I'll go to 3 CMC. It's all divided up with little dividers. I don't have dividers for all the CMCs at this point. I might use like pieces of paper for that, maybe. But right now, that's a comfort level and a speed level that I'm okay with.
Yeah, and I can definitely see it getting out of control, like you're saying. Like you putting like, well, I play this in Commander decks most of the time. I play this in Commander decks half of the time. Like, where do you draw the line about what you're putting in?
Yeah.
So I can see it's going to get out of control at some point.
Yeah, I might want to do one because all the artifacts kind of get lumped together. All the non-creature artifacts, it's pretty unruly. So I'm thinking of taking out the equipment. I'm thinking of making equipment its own subcategory, just in case. Because I wanted things that I could the like rules of Magic could
make mana rocks their own thing.
Well, again, like see, this is where it gets tricky. I wanted to do that, but then some of them start to cross the line of like, well, it's also a mana rock, but it has another function as well. Like there are other things that it does. And if I wanted, so I guess the general organizational point that helped me is like a clear and not like a clear and precise classification rule.
Yeah.
So like the rule is CMC.
It's an artifact. It's it's an uncommon. That means it's going to be in this box, right? Like that's the best way to do it for sure. Don't separate mana rocks from anything. Just leave it all there. You'll know where to look.
And guess what I found out? I have almost 50 Evolving Wilds.
Oh, wow. Very good.
Because I used to always, every time like sets had them in a draft, I'd always keep them. Like I'd get rid of my draft, but I never got rid of an Evolving Wilds because they go in every deck.
Sure, they go in lots of decks, absolutely.
But like they're already in all my decks, and I still have almost 50 left over. That's and I'm just like, this is too many Evolving Wilds. It was wonderful to find that out and just be like, I'm okay to like donate half of these, more of these, 40 of these. Like I don't need that many.
It's a lot. That's definitely a lot. But you know what? It is nice to have a stockpile of them. Like that's a card that I never think of to buy. I'm always just gonna go to my box and grab an Evolving Wilds, grab a Terramorphic Expanse. I'll always have them. I actually think I don't have that many Terramorphic Expanses. I feel like that one was underprinted.
That one's, I mean, it never shows up in drafts. It's always Evolving Wilds if it's anything like in standard.
It's weird that they do that.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe they don't want both in standard, but like nobody runs them
no one ever
who are competitive.
Them.
Yeah, right? So like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyways.
They should flip it.
Once in a while, give us some Terramorphic Expanses.
Anyway, if we ran Wizards, everything would be perfect.
Oh, everything would be perfect and no one would ever complain about anything. It'd be 100% the best thing ever.
So, I mean, that's just like, so like I had a lot of fun going through. I love organizing and sorting things. It feels good in my brain to like have everything in order. So yeah, I mean, take these tips, run with them. And if you've got other organizing tips, please let us know what you do. If you do anything differently, I'm always on the lookout for a cool organizational tip.
I love it when like on Reddit, you'll see someone who has like, ooh, look at this. I got this library card thing.
Oh, those library.
It's like I've turned it into my Magic stuff. It's like, I want one of those.
Oh my God.
Great. Or like some custom, furniture piece where you're just like, man, that's real nice. But I don't have that. I've got a wicker basket that my wife allows me to keep in the living room, and it's got like so many boxes of stuff, and like the binders are in there and everything, and it's just like it's full. It's full. I need to reorganize. I need to consolidate. Like, it's man, it's tough. But I do love the idea, Sean, that you brought up that I think I might switch to is each color gets its own individual like 800 card one like this.
Well,
Or
that
1,000
isn't
maybe one of these
I,
guys right here.
I went by rarity first, so like I don't have enough blue rares to fill one of those. That is the one I'm talking about. Those boxes, but I think the one I'm like are the ones that are a bit longer than that.
This is
I
a
think-
1,000 one. This is a 1,000.
Oh, then that's the one. It's hard to tell scale
Yeah, it's tough, yeah.
that way.
Also, it looks
but
like it's
yeah,
silver because of the green screen.
I liked. Yeah, I could put all my cards of one color, rarity or not, but I didn't do it that way. I went rare first, and then common, uncommon are there in their own world.
Here's another thing I wanted to bring up before we close this one out. I highly suggest. I know you don't do this or yet, or maybe you're thinking about it or not. I don't know, but I highly suggest getting involved in putting your collection online. It will help you remember if you have things even faster. It'll help you keep like things like the cost of cards, like you can search for. And I mean, this goes without saying, lots of us do this, but I just wanted to bring it up because there's some great ways to do it. I've for years had all my stuff on Deckbox, which is really good. But most recently, and I'm not just saying this because it's our we got an affiliate link with them, but TCGplayer has a thing where you can scan the cards in. I know this is also some other apps have this as well, but they have one where you scan it in and it becomes part of your collection, and you can do this entering of your cards into your like system, your online system, so fast. And again, I think there's like Decked, I think is another one, is an app that has the same functionality.
Okay.
There may be some others, but that's one I asked. I asked friend of the show, Phil DeLuca from Commanderin, which is the one he uses, and he likes the TCGplayer one. So, they all get entered into your collection. Then it's kept track of online. You can search for prices and stuff like that. And you don't have to do it all at once. It's an intimidating task, right? I remember the first time when I first did it, I had way less cards, which made it easier. But if you've got a huge collection, obviously it's going to take a long time. But what I suggest is, like, after you've done this organization, like Sean's been talking about here, going through each section and doing this thing where you like scan them in with your phone or whatever. You know, you might, if you're sitting there watching a show, if you're watching, you know, you got your latest show that's on, it's an hour long or whatever, scan a few cards while you're doing it, because you're not paying super attention to the cards. Like, you can still watch a TV show. That's what I did. I just was watching TV, like watching Netflix and scanning some cards in. And trust me, after I was done, I felt like, whew, this is awesome. The toughest part becomes keeping up with it. After that. But you know what? Don't sweat it. It's honestly not that bad if you forget to enter a few things in. If you ever buy like a pre-con or something, that's easy. You just like cut and paste the list from, you know, one of the websites that posts it. Goldfish is really good for it. Grab it, post it, put it up, and then all of those cards are automatically in your collection like that. Who cares about basic lands unless you have fancy ones? And it's pretty easy. And like after a draft, like I used to just make a fun little thing of only taking the good rares and uncommons and, you know, scanning a couple cards in. It's not that bad. It's pretty good. I like it. The worst thing with any collection is this though, right? It's not just the online thing. It's like, now I got to put like loyal subordinate away. Like, great.
Black, is it common or uncommon?
Black uncommon.
Uncommon black creature, 3 CMC.
Yeah. Now I have to put away V2 Ghazi Guild Mage also. Like, I got to go find the box for this. And then I got to, you know, it's just like, oh man, it's a lot of digging out of boxes for me.
I mean, it is true, but I guess size of collection also matters a lot. Like I can fit all the cards in 3 or 4 of those long boxes. I don't keep all of my commons. Like, I got rid of all the vanilla creatures I have.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. It's good to cull through those commons.
Yeah.
If you're like me and you used to collect everything, go through that and just like throw out like half of them. You're going to be happy about that.
Yeah, like I didn't need 15 plus copies. I probably don't need any copies of Cancel, if we're going to be honest. Like in all the printings.
You don't need Cancel. Also, don't just throw them out. You can donate them to like kids, like boys and girls clubs and stuff like that. You can donate them and people get magic cards to play with.
It's true. I think that's a great use. I was just imagining donating this like a youth shelter. It's like, oh look, it's just cancels. So everyone is just playing the worst.
What am I gonna do with 40 cancels?
It's just like, okay, island go, and then nobody
literally can't do anything. Someone left in this creature. Play it. Cancel. 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 Cancel.
What a nightmare way to teach new people Magic.
Terrible.
Just like, nope.
Don't tell them. Don't teach with the cancel deck. Listen, boys and girls clubs and youth shelters. Don't teach Magic with all the cancels, please.
Oh boy.
But that's a great way to learn Magic and a great thing to do. Even if you're just donating them to like your Value Village or your like Salvation Army or whatever like that. That's fine too.
Yeah, some LGSs will take huge stacks for like bulk for like they'll give you like $1 for 1,000 cards or something like that.
Yeah,
it's better than sitting in your basement. Right?
Exactly. Great. Okay. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out the vlog this week. Hopefully your organization skills are tip-top shape. You're going to put that collection all together. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you love what we're doing, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/commandersbrew.
And if you want to get any of the cards from our deck list, go to our TCGplayer affiliate link below.
That helps us out too. And for a free way to help us out, consider sharing the show with some friends. Like and subscribe, add a comment or two.
See you later.
Bye.